Right, hello and welcome to this tutorial. This is a tutorial for Unreal Engine 5.6. This is for the Dynamic Save Manager, and it's basically a very beginner-friendly how-to. And I'm just going to walk you through the process of actually using the Dynamic Save system in an open world format first, and then we're going to go to the levels. But first, the Dynamic Save Manager is basically uh, installed into your project by going to the plugins. You head over to wherever your Dynamic Save Manager is. You can head over to all plugins and search for it. Then you enable it and restart your project. That's how you get through. Now then you head over to your plugins folder, which if you can find, you can enable here. Just enable the plugin folder and you're going to find your Dynamic Save system. And then you can drag this into your world. And there are two things you need to make sure that are not really happening. And if they are, you're going to have a really tough time with Dynamic Save System. First of all, the Dynamic Save System has to belong to a data layer that is persistent. You cannot close it under any circumstances. And if it is closed, there is going to be, you need to know what you're doing, basically, if you do need to close it. Then the second thing is basically heading over to the Dynamic Save DSM detail panel, and you need to actually head over to the world partition, make sure the is spatially loaded is unchecked. And this is really important because we don't want this to unload under any circumstances in the open world. Now for the rest of the options, we're going to discuss this in another video. For now, I just created two blueprints, basically one I call player, and it's naively not a player, by the way. It's just an actor that is going to take some input and we're going to play some stuff. So this actor has first a Boolean variable that I want to, convert its status to true. And I checked its save, and we're going to talk about this in detail. But also it has an actor that I want to change position or delete, basically, or destroy, so that we can test both. And I have the GQ. Basically, when I press it, I can save in a save game name called auto, and I always try to load auto at the beginning of the gameplay. And the dynamic save system, if it doesn't find it, it handles all the errors and stuff, so there is no problem basically. And last but not least, I enable the input. Now I created a blueprint with a cube in it, and I wanted to save that blueprint, so I wanted to make it savable, so I added the dynamic save component to it. And I'm really not sure what to save here, so I just left everything as default here. I want to save the spawning, basically to make sure that if this is destroyed, it's going to be destroyed in any loading scenario, basically. If it's hidden, then it's going to remain hidden after it loads, and it's the same thing. This system is going to save its transforms, basically. So the first test is basically if I press tab, that this is going to basically destroy the actor in that target. And let's just say that I wanted to destroy our blueprint here. So I'm just gonna go to the player, right? And I'm going to just do this. And let's test it together. So let's just test it together. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to press tab, and this is going to delete that object or destroy it, and then I'm going to press Q to save it. Now if I actually try to load this game, you're not going to find the object that we destroyed, so that means we were successful. Now I'm just going to delete our save, and then we're going to try again. But this time I'm going to head to the player, and instead of destroying it, I'm going to move it, right? So I'm going to move it. Now I'm going to head over there and press tab, and this is heading there. And if I press Q and restart my game, I'm going to find this in a different position than it used to be. So this is really okay. Now I'm going to just show you where my save is, and this is basically in any project. You head over to project, save game, saved, and then save games, and you're going to find per save file two of these files, the dsave and the ds metadata. And these are two files that are basically per save. Now, another way to save is basically the static meshes. So this is a static mesh that I just added here from the content browser, basically. And I wanted to save this static mesh. Let's just say I am going to change its position, for example. Now, if I do that, I am going to need a dynamic save component as well. So the key here is press on your static meshes that you want to save and add a dynamic save from here. You can choose the dynamic save component, and here I'm just going to leave everything as default. Now I'm going to head to the player, and I'm going to choose that static mesh cube instead of our blueprint, and then I'm going to play. And when I press tab, it's going to go there. And I'm not really going to save because I need to show you that this blueprint this static mesh moved because I made it movable. And this is really a key point here, and it's important to remember that. So I'm just going to play again. I didn't actually save anything, so I'm just going to do this and then Q to save. And if I play it again, I'm just going to find this here. Which is actually nice. Now, another thing is I wanted to create inside the player a variable to save it, basically to check if everything can save. And this is, you can take this as far as you want, really. I know I did. So the basic idea is I created a boolean and I wanted to save that boolean. So after I created it, I made it editable so that I can see my results, basically. And I checked in advance. I opened that tab and I checked the save game flag, which basically this dynamic save component reads all the saved file, the variables, and checks if they have that save game flag checked, and then it saves them. So I'm going to head here, and if I actually happen to run this right now, we're going to actually find that I guess, yes, that is actually true. If I happen to check my player, I'm going to find that this is true. That is because when I press tab, I always check that that is true, but its default value is false. But right now it's showing me the value is true, despite the fact that I didn't press anything. I didn't check on it and anything. And this is basically the basis of the um, dynamic save system. You can always find more tutorials, and in the documentation it's better explained in details about the C++ and how the functions are formed, and I'm going to go through this video by video in a series where I explain how to use it in every scenario that I can possibly think of. If you have some questions or how this works in certain scenarios, so that I can actually have more content perhaps to push through this and explain this a little bit more in detail, I'd be gladly happy to do that. So thank you.